everyone, I'm Becky and I'm going to be answering your questions on terrestrial invertebrates. The first one I've chosen comes from Lewis, who asked, why do we not get giant bugs? Compared to other animals, insects have a much smaller range of sizes. Mammals, for example, go all the way from tiny bumblebee bats, which weigh the size of a paperclip, to blue whales, which can be the length of 6 cars. The biggest insect by weight is the giant weta, which comes from New Zealand, which is really big for insects, but not compared to other animals. In the past, there have been much bigger insects though. The largest ever insect existed during the late Permian era, about 275 million years ago. It was called a griffin fly, which was a bit like a crow-sized dragonfly. But why don't we get insects that big anymore? One of the best explanations is that there's not enough oxygen in the air at the moment for really big bugs to exist. All animals have to get rid of carbon dioxide and take in oxygen. It's called respiration, and humans do it by breathing using our lungs and the muscles surrounding them. Insects don't have lungs though. They have spiracles, which are tiny holes along the sides of their bodies, which lead to tubes where they change over carbon dioxide and oxygen, normally without using muscles. This works fine for animals with small bodies, but it works less and less well as animals get bigger. No really big insects can be successful because they wouldn't be able to breathe properly. The reason for big insects in the past, like the giant dragonfly I mentioned earlier, is because there was more oxygen in the air at that time and they were less limited by their breathing. Not enough oxygen might not be the only reason we don't have giant insects anymore. Even though oxygen was still high about 150 million years ago, insects were already starting to get smaller. Around about this time, species of birds that were really good at flying were starting to evolve, and it's believed these put pressure on insects to get smaller and more agile so they could escape. So overall, we used to get giant bugs, we just don't anymore. This is probably because there's not enough oxygen in the air for really big animals that don't have lungs like insects to breathe, but birds evolving might have also affected them.